Hey friends, welcome to a sudden video on empires and puzzles. We have some news, so let's go and see what it is. So, the latest calendar has been released for November 2024, and there is something that is here on November the 8th. Soul Exchange. Yes, it's very much here. So it's been announced, and also there is a list that has been leaked fairly quickly. Since it's so late, I would like to believe this time I think it's not been too much of a noise and drama about it. At least I haven't been aware till it suddenly dawned on today. So let's go and see what's on offer. So here is the list. We have the three tiers, and we have all the 15 heroes. Elliot shared this on one of our groups, so I would like to really acknowledge him. Elliot33. I mean, somebody must have made it, so I thank that person for making it. I received it from Elliot, so I'm acknowledging him, but I would like to, without knowing, whoever has made an effort to create this particular list, visually, my sincere thanks to you. Now let's see who all are there. So we have the tier of 10 heroes, 15 heroes, and 20 heroes. And let's quickly dive into each of the heroes. So let's start with Jet. Yeah, I'm going to go by the tier because that's how I have arranged some of the stuff. So bear with me, otherwise I would have gone according to the according to the element. But it is what it is. So let's go to Jet. That's a dark hero from the magic family. Obviously has two passives. I cannot access that because I don't have this hero. But this is the stats, better stats, I would say, than the previous Soul Exchange, where stats were somewhere in the 800s, attack, 800 something. This one is a little better. I would like to believe if this is the base stats, then with LB2s, it will improve a little bit. However, please remember, if you are going to participate and pick up a hero from Soul Exchange, then be ready to give all the materials to ascend the hero and to complete the hero to the max preview. Then it'll be sensible to have got the hero leveled up. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense that you give 20, 15, or 10 legendary heroes to acquire a hero and not do anything. I am a culprit to an extent, but then I have a roster that allows me the speed to do things at my own way. And of course, there will be some new ones that will pop. So you may pick up a hero and a new one you get from summons, and boops, that goes on the back burner. So that's what's happened to me. However, still working. I'm going to just leave it at that. So this is a hero, has got magic hero, so 2 mana charge. Clearly the first one is deals 290% damage to the target. Then there's a poison damage. So it's an impact 1 hero. And in the second mana charge, impact all. So that's how it is. Not so gung-ho about Jet. No wonder he is in the tier of 10. Xavier is the holy legendary from the elemental holy family. You can see the stats. That defense is on the lower side. Cascading whirlwind at average speed deals 280% damage to the target. If an ally is of holy element, the damage increases to 290, and it will affect nearby enemies. If 2 allies are of holy element, the damage will increase to 300 and it will affect all enemies. Reduces the mana of all hit enemies by minus 20%. Now this is a very good special. And in the tier 10, this is a damn good deal because you completely finish this hero. Can be really fun to play around with. And that class, rogue class, shows that he's a dodger. So on offense, he can be really fun to maneuver and play along with, and can be turned into an impact one. But apart from damage, I don't see anything additional in the form of ailment and so on and so forth. However, all hit enemies get get their mana reduced by minus 20%, and that is huge. So this is a hero, if is given love and resources, will be able to be put to very interesting use. Let's go to the next one in tier of 10, Blossom. Cleric, so that's the benefit, part of the construct family. And of course, I would like to believe that passive would be about health and boosted health. I also am fine with the, because this is a healer and a support hero, stats do come a little bit sorted. So I will say 976, a little bit on the lower side by at least 100 numbers. But LB2s and 25 emblems will get her up there. What does she do? At average speed, recovers 42% health for all allies, dispels buffs from all enemies, recovers 50 health per each removed status effect for all allies, up to 400 health in total. So this is massive amount of health, and plus the passive is going to give health too. I mean, she is an irritating hero that we have dealt on both offense. I don't have that experience, but on defense I meet her and really takes some effort to knock her off. We go to the next one. I don't have this one also. Sobek, the blue crocodile. I call him crocodile. So he's available. Wizard, that passive. Jaws of the River at average speed. Plain, deals 290% damage to all enemies. Attack bypasses defensive buffs and includes counterattacks. Now this, I wouldn't even touch with a barge pole. Why? He's too old a hero, and you can look at the stats. Even if you give full LB2s and 25 emblems, it'll be BS because you'll have to waste all of that. Not worth it. So I'm going to not speak much. Fabris, slow speed, green guy, cleric, part of that Carnival of Gods family, I would like to believe. There are two passives. I don't know what they are, but it'll happen when Soul Exchange arrives. On that day, I will do a more detailed, pointed one, but this is for food for thought. Slow speed, destroys all fiends from all allies, cleanses status ailments from all allies, and there is a heal over. Yeah, generate HP over 5 turns. So heal over turn. That's almost close to 1200 HP. So 1205 is 200. No, 5. Yeah, 240 or something like that. So all enemies receive 815 poison damage. The poison increases according to the LBs and so on and so forth. Not a very underwhelming hero, nothing great. Fiends solutions, Arco is a much better solution. And that's it. I will leave it at that. So that's Fabris. Main page where all the heroes have been showed. We will now go and look at heroes in the 15 hero tier. Now I have 3 of the heroes. So let's look at these heroes in my roster. That would be Amethyst in the tier of 15. I love her. Absolutely fantastic hero. I use her even today, which you can see in some of the videos, my war videos and videos where I'm using the dark team. She's an important part of the dark team. She's LB1 with 19 emblems, which is a luxury that I provide to my heroes. She, of course, has got, being part of the ninja family, has 3 mana charges I use her the maximum. I would say almost to the tune of 90% in the first charge. I rarely go to the second charge. And she does. So I'm basically loading up fiends very clearly. Deals 200% damage to all enemies. So she's an impact all from first charge itself. Summons a ninja fiend. Fiend damages its target with 59% attack. And fiend absorbs healing equal to 32% of the target's max health. So I'm basically hammering away, and very quickly I'm putting the second and sometimes even the third fiend on all heroes on the opposite side, while other heroes are getting charged to do the other whack. So she's a great team, along with, you can clearly see she's in team 1 and 3, and Nyx is in team 3. So team 3 is my dark team. Going to the second charge, 275% damage to all enemies, 75% attack by the fiend, and absorbing 50% of its target's max health. Sometimes I'm using this 50% of the target's max health, which means the fiend sticks around. And the last one, of course, is 355% damage to all enemies, summons the fiend that gives 84% attack and absorb 54%. So this is a charge that I can't even remember ever using. And she's been around for a long, long time. So first charge is what is used 90%. Second charge, occasionally, when I have the luxury, it's more like that, or there is a cascade that brings her on to the second charge. So that's Amethyst, and typical tower hero strategy of mine. Damn good hero. Ferdinand. I love the pause. So part of the mighty pet family, cleric, does whole host of things. Cleanses status ailments from all allies. All allies get plus 63% defense for 4 turns. It's shared damage. Then all allies reflect status ailments and negative stacks of 4 turns. And of course, there is heal over turn of 732 HP over 4 turns. So the heal is an addition. It's the upper aspects of cleanse, defense, shared damage, and reflecting status ailments is what Ferdinand is used for. So that's Ferdinand for you. Excellent hero. And of course, we have this passive. When the fiend is summoned, this character deals 85% damage to all enemies. And of course, when minion is summoned to any ally, the character gains 5% health, 5% mana. And that's really cool. This is something that I enjoy, with Cinnamon suddenly charging up when a minion is called. That is such fun, because when a minion is summoned by any ally, so many times a minion is summoned by one ally, that's not next to Cinnamon, and Cinnamon just pops up. So that's really fun. Charges up and then goes on. So that's one of the fun aspects of the pet family. So that's Ferdinand. Aradia. So I have this one also, part of the Masked God family. That's this passive. And she is LB1 and 20. When she arrived, she was a crazy pain, and she still is a pain. Reduces max health of all enemies by 570. The effect is stronger against the targets with boosted health, which means it straight away doubles, as it's written over here. All enemies receive 860 burn damage over 4 turns. This burn damage is painful. All enemies get minus 75% decrease of any boosted health received for 4 turns. So she just causes a lot of pain and pauses things. The burn starts doing its job. And okay, off late I don't use her so regularly, but sometimes I do take her out for fun. So she's a good hero. Not a path-breaking hero that she used to be when she originally came. Then we've got the other 2 heroes. Let's go check them out. The 4th hero in this particular tier is Camilla, part of the Magic family. So 2 mana speeds. First one, but before we go on to the mana speed, one of the passives, which is messing around with your mana speeds and the stack, that's one of the passives. But at the same time, when you look at the stats, it's terrible stats. I didn't speak about the heroes that I have stats because they're LB1, so they look fairly decent and I've been using them. But this will require all resources to improve those stats. Very low stats. First charge boosts health of all allies by 400. All allies get plus 40% defense against special skills for 3 turns. So straight support. Next one is reduces max health of all enemies by 800 and all enemies get minus 54% defense. Now this is a second charge which is slow speed charge. And as you know, in case of the tower heroes, the first charge is the quick one that you get. Slow speed one, you rather take, there are many other slow speed better heroes to take to the party. So obviously Camilla is not. When she arrived, there was a little bit of excitement, but she wasn't path breaking or anything great at that time. Today, nah. We have a goblin that has been given, and no wonder. Not a crazy goblin. This is the last one that should have been offered, or amongst the last few. But it is what it is. There is a goblin at 15 tier. That should speak a story. So clearly a cleric, boom and fang, nature. And you can see the stats. So I would say okay, it's not terribly bad, but still it's dated because at least a year or 15 months old hero. I would like to believe a year and a half old hero. Summons a white boar mega minion with 55% HP and 200% attack, which still matters. These days, now we have the same but with 300 or 300% or maybe 350 attack. So the whack that the mega minion gives is insane. 600, 700, or even at times with a buff, 1000 HP. When summoned, the White Boar Mega Minion gives its owner the ability to counterattack with 100% of the damage received. Now, this hero's Aether power is counterattack, if I remember. And also, the Mega Minion enables counterattack. But then, I'm not sure about the Aether power. But this counterattack is really irritating. And I have a feeling that Aether power is also counterattack because this jerk starts with a counterattack. I remember that now. So that's that. And the effect cannot be dispelled. So yeah, irritating boom and fang. But well, you see what color you like. Food for thought. And of course, that passive of giving accuracy ailment is the benefit that all the goblins bring to the table. It's very irritating and it saves the opposition because of that accuracy part. Also, the family bonus of the goblins is useful. We go to the 20 tier heroes and we have got a hero that I don't have. So let's look at the 2 heroes that I don't have, and there are 3 heroes that I have, so I'll go into the roster. So this is the one, the naughty Luna that I don't have. And I think a lot of players are sitting with the trauma of not having Luna and Luna screwing their happiness. And even today, she's a damn irritation. So I'm sure this is the chick that everybody's going to jump on. That's my suspicion, and I'm sounding it off. So that's Luna, fast speed hero. The stats are dated. You can clearly see that there are those passives. And the Lunar Blessing at fast speed recovers 20% health for the caster and nearby allies. At the end of each turn, the caster and nearby allies shoot a moonbeam at random enemy for 3 turns. Each moonbeam deals 140% damage, and each moonbeam reduces the mana of the hit enemy by 5 freaking percent and irritates the hell out of the attacker. That needs to be added as a question mark. So you click, and that's where it announces and irritates the hell out of the attacker. So that's Luna. she's a catch in the tier of 20. Some fellows will also have a double benefit and a whammy that more roster space will get empty. But Luna is fun. That's that. What do I say? I think also I'm now seeing that now I have not been pulling, so I don't have a massive, and now I have a huge space in my roster of 30, 31. So it is going to only increase to 47, 48 or something like that. So I'll now start my one of the training camps. I'm going to drain and I'm going to turn it into the legendary training camp. Let it give two, three, four legendary heroes. That should be fun. Yeah. So I'm going to start doing that till whatever time this game carries on. I'm associated with it. So carry on the fun. Yeah. Food for thought. So that's Luna and my little rambling. Let's go to the next one. Ignazio arrives in the game. The fast speed elemental, fire elemental healer is a monk. That's a benefit. Those stats are worth crying. The moment I see those stats, 784, 817, I feel like crying. Terrible. Terrible. Then recovers 25% health for all allies and recovers additional 3% health per each fire shield on the board, capping up to 55% health in total. So that's that. All allies get plus 50% attack 4 turns and cleanses status ailments from all allies. So yeah, Ignazio is a pain. However, terrible stats. Really old hero, but is a super elemental hero. So somebody seeking out a red healer, doing a lot of stuff. This is the fellow, and this fellow would be really useful. Still arrives and is an irritation on defenses. Offense, obviously, he is better used because one can then play around. Erlang Shan. So that's a fighter. Holy. This is the version that I have. Limit broken 20. I don't use him off late a lot, but till about 3-4 months back I used to use him fairly regularly in wars. But today also I take sometimes depending on the war format, and I team him with, oh, in the roster he's right next to Christine Day. So that and Shima Scales. So that's the one that he gets teamed up with. And of course, what does he do? 500% damage to the target and minor damage to the nearby enemies. The target and nearby enemies get minus 48% attack for 3 turns. If the effect is removed before the duration ends, the target with the effect suffers 622 damage. Now this might increase if you're giving LB2s and blah blah blue. But by himself, when he arrived, he used to really hurt bad. But now it's combination with somebody else. That's that. So the other hero is the blue fellow, Oniwaka. Now, clearly a ninja, so has 3 charges, is a monk. And the first charge, I haven't leveled him up, honestly speaking. Don't use him. There are people who swear by him, but not me. So boost health of the caster by 180. This is a basic one, so it'll increase if leveled up one is looked at. The caster gets a taunt that prevents enemies from using special skills on the caster's allies for 2 turns. That's the first charge, and caster counterattacks for 2 turns. Second charge is boosted health. Then taunt is for 3 turns and counterattacks with a higher percentage. And the last one, which is boost health of the caster by 330. It will increase, of course. Taunt is for 4 turns and counterattack. So he can be put to use to keep the rest of the team safe. because his taunt comes in two matches, so one can keep rolling with that particular taunt. But when I look at it, there is nothing else that he provides to the allies. So basically, he protects the allies by taking away the access to the allies based on the speed. I'm not going to look at the mana charge 2 and mana charge 3, because if I have to use the mana charge 2 3 turns, then I have got enough taunters. I would rather take those fellows. So average speed, other taunt fellows automatically become, and they provide certain other buffs. So that's that. So not, since I have not been able to convince myself to pick this fellow to level up, that is what it is. So the last hero in the tier of 20 is Frond. So what does Frond do? I have Frond, and I like his stats. Of course, if I give him more emblems, it'll improve further. And he's a construct hero. Of course, he has the benefit of doing a lot of stuff. So his destructive core gives a whack to all, 180% damage to all, is already a full-fledged hero's whack. We still have new heroes coming who give 250 or 60% whack. So this is almost 60% right there. And then, of course, he is doing, as part of his main whack job, at fast speed deals 375% damage to the target and nearby enemies. Then there is a conditional harder whack, deals 900 extra damage if the target has boosted health. If the target has boosted health, it's a kill shot. Many times. All allies' normal attacks and special skills deal plus 85% damage against targets with boosted health for 3 turns. So he is a nightmare for boosted health. Really superhero. I love this hero. Because I use Gazelle, Frond's second portion of the special doesn't come into play. However, the first two portions of the special create mayhem if there is boosted health on the opposite side and Gazelle buff is going on. Frond snipes. Really good hero and worth giving a consideration in this particular tier. So, we're back to this particular page, the control page, where we can clearly see the 3 tiers. We have Jet, Amethyst, Luna in the dark. Then we have the holy options of Xavier, Ferdinand, Erlang Chen. Fire element option of Blossom, Aradia, and Ignazio. Then we have the ice, Sobek, Camilla, Oniwaka. Then finally, we have Fabris, Boom, and Fang, and Frond. And as I was saying that, I saw that this picture has been tweaked by, which was received, and I downloaded Aliates, but it is the tweaked photo and has the picture of the person who tweaked it, and that's Burks G. So he's on one of our line groups of content creators. So yes, I would love to acknowledge Burks G also. Thanks, buddy, for doing what you did onto this picture. You did something. So that's that. And yeah, so this is a particular list. The heroes that have caught my attention over here, of course, is going to be Amethyst, that I already use. Ferdinand and Aradia as part of my roster. And this is, I think, I would say the least number of heroes, the Soul Exchange where I have the least number of heroes in my roster. Otherwise, mostly I have about 11, up to 11 heroes. 10, 11 heroes I've always had. This time I have got 1, 2, 3, and 3 more. So 6 heroes I have out of the 15 over here. So yeah. In the first one, I like Xavier as an option. The rest of the fellows are okay. After Xavier, it's Blossom. So it's basically Xavier and Blossom, depending on what kind of a hero you're looking for. In the tier of 15, it's Amethyst, Ferdinand, Aradia, and the other two fellows are okay to an extent, even Boom and Fang, if you want to get hold of Goblin with a Mega Minion. But the first three are doing a lot more things. In the tier of 20, of course, Luna still holds her fort to an extent when I face her on defense. And then you have Frond very clearly. So Luna and Frond I will rate at the same level, then Erlang and Ignazio. And Oniwaka, whoever has a better strategy to use him, please see if you require and go for it. So that's it. I will not comment how the list is. That is something that has just arrived. There are fairly good hero options over here. As a player, one is always expecting the sky, which is technically a pie in the sky. It doesn't matter because none of the new heroes and meta heroes will be ever given by SG in Soul Exchange. Let's be honest. Which means who are the good options, or which are the options that I can actually turn into a winner. And that's where, when I see Frond clearly jumps out with his options and specials. Erlang Shang is a little beyond his prime, does pop up, and Luna, of course. We have Ferdinand that has still holes, will require, and all these heroes that I'm talking will require the maximum resources, and then they will serve you well. So that's it. This is the list. I will leave it to marinate and see what happens, and then you get an idea as to what you're looking for. Trust my conversation helps, and more details on the Soul Exchange a day. So have fun. See you in the next video. Cheers.